If I ever visualized a song to write, I saw this one. And it really wasn't Mama, it was Grandmother. And it was snowing. And her garden of roses that she loved to piddle around with had faded and wilted. But she could lay in the bed and look out the window. So this is one of the oldest, sweetest songs that I ever wrote about my grandmother. I'll be gone to be with Jesus come spring.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I stood in a lonely room of a mother old and gray. Her voice so weak she could hardly speak. I brushed the tear away. She was watching the little snowflakes falling on the window pane. She breathed a sigh and then replied, I'll be gone to be with Jesus come spring. Before the roses bloom in my garden, I'll be gathering flowers in a better land. Before the fields are green, before the robin sings, I'll be gone to be with Jesus come spring. Turn there's a big gate standing open. A gentle voice calls me home. Soon I'll be in God's country, in a garden all my own, with my troubles all behind me, and my body free from pain. When the sun melts the snow and the warm winds blow, I'll be gone to be with Jesus come spring. Now the roses have bloomed in her garden, and the warm winds blow across the fields of green. She's gone where angels sing, earth's lost is heaven's gain. But we'll meet when God gathers flowers come spring. But we'll meet when God gathers flowers come spring.
CDs, cassettes, gifts, you name it, we've got it. And I'll tell you, it is really a pleasure to introduce again this lady and bring her to you. You know, some of the songs David was talking about a while ago were songs that we've all sung. Some of them were, I Just Came to Talk with You, Lord. Oh, my, we sang that years and years ago. Build my mansion next door to Jesus. Tears will never stain the streets of that city. I love that. Dottie, how did you come to write that song? Tears will never stain the streets of this city, of that city.
Do you know how it feels, Carol, to have a broken heart?
Yes, I do.
I was going through 1970, my first real broken heart. And I'd never felt that emotion before, you know. And I found out there's not any glue that can glue the heart back. Only God can do that. So I was thinking about heaven, how there would be no broken hearts. And I was sitting out the back by myself and really wishing I could just leave this world. You ever felt that way?
Yes, I have.
And that's how the song came about. I just thought, Lord, I wish you'd just take me on home. But, you know, you don't tell God what to do. He does it in His own good time, doesn't He? So I'm just glad I got to stay around to write the song because really that is the only thing we can look forward to, where the heart is truly made whole and the body is new. So that's how I wrote it.
That's right. Absolutely. What about, let me ask you about some other songs if I could. Right. I Will Glory in the Cross. I Go to the Rock. I know you folks have heard these. Sheltered in the Arms of God. Too Much to Gain to Lose. I've never been this homesick before, that Dottie opened the program with. If That Isn't Love, Behold the Lamb, We Shall Behold Him, The Perfect Rose. Tell me about The Perfect Rose.
I was living on the farm, and I had a dozen red roses. And you know how we girls do. We keep the roses as long as we can, and they was getting wilted looking. So you slant cut them and put them in warm water and put an aspirin in that water. And so I had 2 left. Went to bed, and both of them were gorgeous. And I got up about 4 o'clock in the morning, which is writing time for me, working on new music. And I looked, and one of them was just dead and just falling all over the lace tablecloth. And the other one looked like the roof had just opened up and just the dew had fallen, just little pebbles. That's what it looked like to me. And I had at that time a cup of coffee. Of course, I don't drink coffee anymore. I've been saved a long time now. But I'm kidding you. But back then I had that with coffee real early. And I looked at that rose, and I turned around and started to go back to the bedroom, and just, not a voice, but a feeling, you know, in your spirit just said, why don't you stop and look at the rose again? And so I did, and I turned, started to go back to the bedroom, and that same feeling looked at the rose. So I stopped and stared and kept staring, and all of a sudden I thought it was a poem, just a poem. So I wrote the first verse and I guess a chorus, and I said, well, thank you, Lord, that is pretty. And I started to turn to go back, and something just once again prompted me. And the last part came, and that was the main one, that talked about in a corner of a stable on a spread of swaddling clothes, just a tiny bud, but destined to become the perfect rose. Angels hailed his entrance, and wise men brought him gold, knowing little of the suffering that would soon befall the rose. Hands reached out without a reason, crushed and bruised the perfect rose, causing yet a sweeter fragrance as the crimson color flowed. Ugly thorns had never marred it, till a crown of thorns he wore. Tasting death, the rose of Sharon rose to bloom forevermore.
Oh, that is beautiful.
And that was the song.
Are you going to be singing that tonight?
We might run out of time for that one tonight.
Okay.
We have so many.
What's your favorite? Do you have a favorite song that?
Well, it's kind of like children, you know. Mother had 11, and
yeah.
you know, they all look different, don't they? So it's hard to say. You know, some of mine I say, well, they're country. You dress them up and put overalls and a straw hat on them. You know, that's like some of my country ones. And then, like, I Wish I Were Holding, that Sandy Patty made so famous and did write correctly. And I said, I don't care how good she sounds. Don't make me any difference. She might sound pretty, but she didn't feel what I felt when I wrote it.
That's right.
But she really sang the song, We Shall Behold Him. But it's really hard to say what is your special, because they're all different. You know, they're really, you know, all of us children look different. You know, I turned out to be, I don't know, I don't look like anybody, you know. I don't even think I belong to anybody but a grandmother, you know. But I don't have a favorite. I honestly don't. We shall behold him at all. It would be so close, and he looked beyond my faults and saw my needs.
Oh, you remember that, folks. What about that one? Can you tell us a little bit about the writing of that one?